Namaste, Jai Bharat. When we travel abroad from our nation to some other nation, it's a normal situation that we exchange our money. In some money exchange, mostly in the airport itself, we find money exchange counters to that country's currency. But it's interestingly, when we go to the market with their own money, when they find that you are a foreigner, they ask you, don't you have dollars? It's normally they ask, don't you have dollars? You come from abroad. When you're giving us our money, give us dollars if you have. Now, this makes many of us, even me, we exchange in dollars, and mostly we do carry dollars from our home airport when we go to some other place. Some dollars you carry, and the rest you exchange. These days, of course, we have cards, even that. So we don't have to really carry cash so much. But then we have international card. But then the exchange is done in dollars. So we are a little more self-respecting Indians. That's why we always say Bharatiyas. Don't even want to say that word Indian, which is not ours. So it used to be funny. Why should I pay these people in another country, in an entirely different country's money, dollar, US dollar? Personally, we have no dislike towards America. We don't have any dislikes or special these things towards America. It's okay. We have something in common. They are also democratic, etc. And supposed to be a free country. So all those things are good. But then, why should I use his money in a third country? Why not my own nation's currency? This normal thought comes to me, and this used to be a thing for disturbing us. Isn't it some kind of bullying or upper hand? That we don't like. I respect you, I have nothing against you. But then when you start showing your upper hand, it happened to be like that, whatever, I would not take it pleasantly. That's under compulsion I do it, but normally I won't take it pleasantly. Now it's thoda difficult for us to. So these time BRICS. This business is called Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, in short SWIFT. This is the program where you deal in a given currency that's accepted internationally by all others, and dollar used to have upper hand. Everything is done in dollar. So that makes America's position very comfortable. We don't envy, but then why should it be at my cost? That question is to come. Now, after the formation of European Union, they have had euros. So the euros, to some extent, reduced the dominance of dollar internationally. Now, BRICS had come with a very wise and very, very, very drastically needed solution to this. Drastically needed program of making a BRICS program towards SWIFT, or as in a SWIFT parallel to dollar. It's only in the beginning stage, it's only in the discussion stage, but then they at least started thinking. Now, there can be a lot of difficulties, they have to work out the things, and the greatest thing which I personally feel is that how far you can trust China is a question. China would support you so long as it's in their benefit. Of course, everyone supports one another so long as it's in their benefit, but they would also support to help others. But you can't expect such things from China. That their history is that. So that difficulty is there. To what extent we can trust China? But then the ray of hope is Russia. They would China listens to Russia to some extent. So that could be a possibility, because they also have their own interests, agreeable interests and disagreeable interests. The agreeable interest means they have their own national interest, and There's no point for China to have animosity or difficult differences with Bharat. That's not going to help them at all. In any case, on the other hand, if you go on in a friendly relation and if we are together, at least the Western dominators would think twice before saying anything. So at least that's going to be a great strength on our part. So China should realize that, hopefully, and stay with us. I think they realize and they're staying with us. Petty things they should not focus on. Catching on someone's border, lifting his fencing, entering into somebody's, border disputes and all kinds of things. They should be little more lenient. Once they are lenient, we will be more lenient than them. Whatever may be the case. So this is a very novel thought. The BRICS would bring out possibly BRICS currency like Euro. And they have also designed, not final decision, it's an artist's imagination. An artist has imagined the BRICS currency, and Putin had shown it. We have seen it in the news. Shown that currency. All the people are responsible. All BRICS members are there in that. And presumably, in this parallel SWIFT program by BRICS, minimum 153 countries would cooperate. That's what is expected. At least about 153 to 160 countries will be part of this program of having a parallel SWIFT to dollar. That's a very big welcome thought. See, ordering sanctions against people just by oneself. The US has that habit. They would say, sanction to this person, sanction to that person. So they make people depend on them. Their programs are to make people depend on them, and no one wants to be depending on anyone. So people would like to be independent. So BRICS, at least the BRICS nations, can be without depending the West, which is wanted, because they always look at the East as East and West as West with an aura of some kind of higher hand. They have higher hand economically, but certainly not culturally, philosophically, etc. They just can't have that. They don't have that. But they don't bother about that. They go by money, materialism, and other kinds of mundane luxuries and existence. Their calculations are more mundane, that money, strength, etc. But our ancestors had been calculating in a more meaningful, more transcendental manner. Most of the East. That's how all religions of the world becomes a contribution from the East, from the West at all. They have only mutilated the religions which we have created. So it's a very very welcome program from the BRICS, and we are very hopeful. Next time when we happen to travel, at least we need not to use someone else's money as the money which they would accept. The Euro currency and the Europe, they have done it, at least in their area. But if you do it, we'll be able to do it in an entire global basis. We'll be able to do it, because now it's at about 150 to 160 countries are willing, technically, in principle, they'll be cooperating. But practically, when it comes, let's say how far it can work out, it's not an easy thing. It has to work towards practicality. It would take time. But definitely, the thought is very noble, very meaningful, very good thought. It can take off, at least in principle. In theory, it can take off. What are the practical possibilities? Those people should know, those who are involved in it, and those who know the economics and international politics more. They should be able to understand it. Hopefully, this is very promising. Next time, hopefully, that when we travel abroad, we will not be that feeling bad. At least I carry my money from my own home. If it is a BRICS currency, since we are also part of BRICS, there's no harm in carrying that currency, because we are somehow involved in it. Not an entirely different currency with which we have nothing to do. and they print in bold letters, "We trust in God." What difference it makes whether you trust in God or not? Do you really live like God, or as per the instructions of God? It's a question that you should ask yourself. I need not to tell you. Now I just spoke just like that. Besides the point, just by printing on your currency that we trust in God, it doesn't make you worthy of a concept of God. It depends on what you actually do. And what you actually do, you should know better than what I do. I'm not going to judge. I agree with Bible. Do not judge. So we should meet with some other thoughts later. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Shri Ram.